Hey everybody. I just want to say a couple of things. Uh, I know a lot of people have been kind of shocked by my post, and that's cool. But all I'm trying to get y'all to see is really that we in the last days, and we need to question everything. And this is coming from somebody who, at least throughout college, was a staunch supporter of the Democratic Party. Straight up. Um, Now, earlier today, I went and posted a video about Obama's fake children, and then Michelle Obama, uh, people looking at her like she a man. And once again, I posted the video for everybody to see. Just take a look at it. Straight up, just take a look at the stuff. I'm not, and Jay, if you watching, you went and put a real silly post, and I'm about to share my screen. Can I share my screen? No. Okay. So I'm just gonna read the post that you put. Um, you put that incels. I don't know what incels is, and white extremists use DuckDuckGo, and that DuckDuckGo is biased. That's a very stupid statement. Very stupid statement. Me, I'm studying my master's in cybersecurity. Don't no cybersecurity expert I know uses Google. Why don't they use Google? Because Google not gonna give you all the information you need to know. And then there's folks, if they get a virus on a computer and try to search Google for information, Google won't give you information. You're gonna have to use other search engines like DuckDuckGo, like trying to think one I've used. Public www or Pipple or Hunter or Census or Wiggle or even Shodan, which I've used, had to use for class. So Google is just going to give you a very limited view of what information the internet has to offer. And I kind of talk about, and I talked about this the other day. Both Google and Facebook was sitting up here with Senate committee hearings, and they was accusing them of trying to sway elections or basically just be biased themselves, really towards the Democratic Party, towards the left. And I've already told you on Facebook, Jay, that if it was really up to me, if this was really a company that claims to be a quote unquote democracy, where when really this country is a republic, if they really wanted to sit up here and have like a really fair election, it wouldn't just be no two-party, same wings of the same bird of prey political system. So you would have third party candidates like the Libertarian Party, like the Green Party, having the same amount of TV time as far as debates that both the Democratic and Republican Party has. And me, I'm going to go ahead and put up a couple of Bible verses because people think I'm crazy. And that's fine. I'd rather be called crazy, but guess what? When I get in front of God, I want God to tell me, good job, good and faithful servant. All I'm trying to do is just to get people to question things. That's it. Just question. Because the news has been proven, especially mainstream news, has been proven time and time again that they lie to us. CNN lies, MSNBC lies, Fox News lies, ABC News lies. All of our local news, especially if they're talking about national news, all of it is read from a script. Search that on YouTube. You should at least find that. And hopefully it doesn't restrict the results so that you don't see it. Because both YouTube and Google only gives you a piece of the internet, a piece of the media that they want you to see. Miss Garnett, you went and posted that YouTube is not credible and it posts anything. So if YouTube can post anything, then that means not only is some of the stuff on YouTube truthful, but then some of the stuff is a lie as well. So you got to kind of shift through it. But I do know one thing: if YouTube truly allows anything to be posted on there, then why would they censor some of the results? It makes you think. If they censor the results, they obviously don't want you to see it. And to me, with a company as big as YouTube, if they actually censor something, then it must be truthful. Because if it wasn't truthful, then they would go ahead. If it wasn't a threat to what they post, then they would just go ahead and let it be posted anyway. But just like I said the other day about Facebook being a publisher and not a public forum, the same applies to YouTube, the same applies to Google. They are publishers, not a public forum. And that's really sad that they are publishers because they use our data. They extract our data for free and make billions of dollars using our data for free. And we're not getting any cut from any of that data that's being used. People saying, "Oh, I own it because you support Trump." Again, I gladly support Trump over anybody the Democratic Party has. Biden is a known racist. Search it. The dude was friends with a bunch of people in the doggone Klan. Obama himself, with his crazy behind, gave a eulogy for a Klan member in attendance with Biden and Bill Clinton. But everybody want to sit up here and call Trump a racist. Snoop Dogg know Trump ain't a racist. Mayweather know he not a racist. Mike Tyson knows that he's not a racist. Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, who Trump provided an expensive offices in the middle, in the heart of Manhattan for free. And you know the Rainbow Coalition is full of what? Black folks. But yet Trump is a racist. Trump is a racist to everybody. Make no doggone sense that Trump is the quintessential racist. Jay, again, you gonna sit up here and say that DuckDuckGo is used by white extremists. Wow. That's one of the most ignorant things I've seen anybody post. Really? Like I told you before, I'm studying my master's in cybersecurity. So I already know, just from a cybersecurity standpoint, and I mean, I'm going to be finishing up my master's in December. I already know from a cybersecurity standpoint that if you really want to find information out there, you have to use search engines other than Google. So I guess I'm a white extremist for using DuckDuckGo. That's like the most ridiculous comment I've ever heard, man. Come on now. Come on. So if that's the case, then I'm a liberal for using Google, according to your method of thinking, your perspective. Come on, man. Like, for real. Just come on. We are in the last days. Satan is busy. The devil is busy. He's busy trying to deceive. I had another post where I talked about this pedophile ring that Trump is fighting, and there's all kind of stuff about that. Everybody dismisses this stuff as a conspiracy theory. Then again, Jay, you posted a video with Trump with Epstein. Last time I checked, rich folks who rich, they hang together. And Trump didn't really spell out that Epstein was a pedophile. He just said, "Oh, we had a falling out, so I disassociated myself to him." Once again, if Trump was a true pedophile, all these pedophiles that getting locked up would have been read on them and said that Trump was a pedophile. So if he really was a pedophile, he would have been exposed as a pedophile. Does that make any sense? Jesus even said it himself to the Pharisees. Pharisees accused Jesus of sitting up here casting out demons with the power of the devil, with Beelzebub. And Jesus told the Pharisees, a house divided among itself will not stand, it will fall. So once again, how can Trump be a pedophile when he's going after the pedophiles themselves? Because once again, if he truly was, knowing how the news is, because I've never seen a president more hated than this dude ever in life, in history, in the short life that I've had. I've never seen somebody hated so much. They loved Obama. They might have made fun of Bush, but they still like Bush, and they love Clinton. And the Bible is clear about people like that. When the world loves you, and especially if you claim to be a Christian, you're not a real Christian. A friend of the world is an enemy of God. That's in the Bible. I'm sorry, I don't want to be, like I said before, I don't want to be a friend of the world. I want to stand in front of God and have him tell me, well done, good and faithful servant. All I'm trying to do is to get y'all just to open your eye. Question stuff. The devil is on his job right now. The devil is on his job. You got children sitting up here being kidnapped every day. That's on Google. Google might not show you everything, but that's on Google. You got children being kidnapped every day, being sold as sex slaves, being sacrificed to the devil. But I'm crazy. I'm so crazy. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this couple of Bible verses for y'all to really think about. Like I said before, ain't nobody perfect. Trump has his own issues. Look at the great hack on Netflix, the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal. Those folks was collecting so many data points on individuals across the world where they were able to influence presidential elections without people even knowing it. And Trump, who was behind in the polls with Hillary, even though the news lied about that and said that, okay, Trump don't have no chance, he was able to use Cambridge Analytica stuff to where he made just enough dents with those votes in those swing states to where he was able to become president. Like I said, Trump got his faults too. There's a few other some other things that Trump has done to where I don't agree with. Perfect example: these stimulus checks. There shouldn't have been no stimulus checks going to these millionaires at all. The amount of money that went to these millionaires could have went towards people who was making $150,000 or less. So, like I said before, y'all sitting up here calling me crazy, but y'all don't really have a lot of facts to back it up. Again, with DuckDuckGo. Look at Forbes. Forbes even tells you to ditch Google. And Forbes is a liberal newspaper. Forbes even tells you, and this is an article from 2018, why should you ditch Google search and use DuckDuckGo? Because Google spies on you so bad. We don't have much of the Fourth Amendment anymore because in the age of technology, the Internet of Things that we currently live in, we have no privacy. So once again, if I use a browser that's a little bit more privacy centric and privacy focused, I'm a white extremist. Okay, that's fine. Whatever, dude. Whatever. But and I got people telling me about the post office. That Trump is quote unquote stealing an election. That's what the Democratic National Convention is talking about. Trump is stealing the elections. Well, according to Dell, and you can look this up, they were talking about blockchain mail-in absentee voting back in 2018. 2018. And they said, and this is for West Virginia. West Virginia will become the first state to allow digital voting by blockchain. If the pilot is successful, it could be the key to solving current barriers such as voting, such as mobile impaired seniors or workers who can't leave on election day. Now it's already well documented that in Iowa, when the Democrats tried to do mail-in voting, it was a mess. So now, since Trump sits up here and changes the postmaster general, who, remember, the U.S. Postal Service was operating on a almost $3 billion deficit, a loss, just in this year, and they've been operating at a loss for the past couple of years. What business that can actually stay afloat by operating on billions of dollars of loss every year? Who? I'll wait. Who? Who can operate at a $2 billion loss? Nobody. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yet they claim this man trying to steal the election. So if blockchain is going to be used to do mail-in voting, then guess what? That means the voting can't be tampered with, and you can actually have a fair election. But the Democrats right now are having a hearing to try to stop having secure blockchain, meaning that you can't hack into it, mail-in voting. But remember, Trump trying to steal the election. And this is coming from a cybersecurity standpoint. When anything is encrypted using blockchain, it is almost impossible to hack. Exactly, Seiko. The hatred for this man is just crazy to me. Because he sure as hell was not racist before he became president. He was not. So again, at least this time during the election, we can expect to have a fair election with blockchain absentee voting. We can have a fair election. Y'all must have forgot when Bush and Gore was running and the election was literally stolen. Gore was supposed to win, but since Bush had his brother in Florida just disappear the votes, Bush ended up winning the presidency. Y'all must forget that. So elections can be stolen. That is a real and present threat. If it was up to the Democrats, yeah, they would steal it. They know they don't have a chance with Biden and Kamala Harris. Biden, and I feel sorry for Biden. It almost looks like he don't want to do it. It's almost like, why me? Why do I have to do this? But this is the same dude who said it, who Michelle herself said, or himself, I should say, that Biden gives out his personal number to children. What old man look right giving his personal number to children? That screams pedo to me. But again, y'all think I'm crazy. I'd rather be crazy to the world than be truthful in front of God any day. So y'all can call me crazy. You can say, oh, why black people believe in QAnon stuff or what have you. All I ask y'all to do is to question what is going on. Just question what is going on. Let's look at a couple of Bible quotes right quick. Bible verses. Matthew 24:4. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and will show great signs and wonders so as to mislead, if possible, even the elect, the Christians, smart folks. And we got quite a few false prophets. This is gonna ruffle a couple of feathers, but hey, I don't care at this point because I'm tired of folks want to sit up here and accuse me of being crazy when all I'm trying to do is just show people the truth. If you're a member of Joel Osteen's church, who sits up here during his sermons and make God seems like he's Santa Claus or some magical genie who needs us. God don't need us. It is the other way around. We need God. We need God badly because the things that is happening right now is crazy. 2020 has just been it's been crazy. This scam coronavirus foolishness where you got more people dying from the flu and pneumonia than the coronavirus. And once again, I'm not discounting anybody's life. I feel bad that whoever released the virus in China went and messed up the world as much as they did. Those are the folks who you should be blaming. And if y'all remember, earlier in March, do you know what the death forecast was for coronavirus? They was talking about in between 2 to 3 million people in the United States dying from the coronavirus. We had what, 140, 150,000? And even those numbers are not accurate because, again, if you do some research, the hospitals get $30,000 just to stick somebody on a ventilator. You talking to somebody who, with a bad asthma attack, was on a doggone ventilator. That stuff don't do nothing but force air into your lungs. If your lungs are already weak enough as it is, a ventilator is almost like a death sentence. And the hospital sitting up here getting 30 grand a pop to put somebody on a ventilator. That's why they're so gung-ho about putting people on a ventilator. As a person who suffers with asthma, I will use a respirator. A respirator puts a little bit of air in you, but it's not to the point where it's like forcing it in you. It just helps you to breathe a little bit better. But a ventilator, it really pushes some air into you. Then we also talk about another biblical verse. Because once again, nobody wants to research. People are just comfortable hearing what they want to hear. And I think, to me, this is probably the scripture that really applies to the time that we living in now. 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, verses 3 and 4. For the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine. Does that sound familiar? You got all these preachers always talking about God has a blessing for you. God has financial prosperity for you. Financial prosperity is not for everybody. Because if that was the case, everybody who believed in God would be rich. Look at Job. Job had everything. And the devil had to ask God to tempt him. The devil had to ask God for permission. So when you going through something, the devil has to ask permission for God to let you even go through something. But people want God to be Santa Claus. God to bless them with nice cars, nice house, and all that good stuff. Let me move on with the verse. For the time will come, they will not endure sound doctrine, but wanting to have their ears tickled. Everybody should be able to understand what that means. People want to hear good, all they want to hear is good things. They don't want to hear bad. They rather hear a lie than hear the truth. And the truth is not gonna always sound good. The truth a lot of times is gonna sound horrifying. We got a pedophile ring worldwide going on. And somebody needs to stop that. They will accumulate, let me move on with the scripture. They will accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance to their own desires. So why do you think you got a bunch of people going to these different prosperity gospel churches? That's all they want to hear. Everybody wants to hear about money. Nobody wants to hear about the truth and how God holds us to a higher standard. As children of God, as sons and daughters of God, we are held to a higher standard. We are supposed to be able to discern between the truth and between lies. And unfortunately, as crazy as this world is, the truth is stranger than fiction. It is truly stranger than fiction. Facebook pumps so much fiction into us. Facebook follows what it says in this scripture. They will accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance to their own desires. Facebook has algorithms to where if we try to shop for something, we can look for a car outside of Facebook. Guess what Facebook gonna show? A car. Guess what Google is gonna show us? That same car we was looking at. And let me finish the scripture. And will turn away their ears from the truth and will turn aside to myths. Hey, if your mind made up and everything I'm speaking about is just hearsay, is crazy, that's fine. I can't change somebody's mind who's made up. I cannot. But for those that are on the fence, that just wonder about what the world, how the world works, then this video is for you. I want to talk briefly about abortion because I get little debates about abortion. Abortion is a big time game. It is a big game. You got Kamala Harris, who supports abortion, who supports late-term abortions, all the way up until birth. That's evil. That's wrong. But y'all want to sit up here and say, "Oh, it's a woman's right." Just like if you think it's a right for you to kill your unborn child, it is also your right to do one of two things. And once again, me, I'm not perfect. I had a child out of wedlock who I still love and make sure that she's taken care of to this day. However, look at the culture that we have. We got music, especially black music. You don't in country music. You don't hear about us objectifying. In country music, you don't hear them objectifying women as a sex symbol, as a tool for sex. But in rap, that's all you hear. They sit up here and promote promiscuity in rap. Then they turn around when you sit up here and get pregnant. Then they turn around and sit up here and say, "Oh, yes, we support you having an abortion. Oh, that child is an inconvenience. Abort the child." Then Medicaid either pays for it or you pay, or you go ahead and pay for it. Then not only that, they go ahead and suck the babies out with a vacuum, turn them into mush, into just a pool, oh Jesus, of blood and guts. And nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing. Oh, that's okay. Then when you sit up here and take these flu vaccines, and I can almost guarantee if you take flu vaccines every year, you've probably had the doggone coronavirus. You sit up here and take these vaccines, and if you look at the insert in the vaccines, and I'm telling you, please research it. You can take an actual vaccine, pull an insert out, and look at the ingredients, and it got aborted fetal cells up in there. You sitting up here injecting the blood, the DNA of somebody's unborn dead baby, and that's supposed to be okay. That's supposed to be somebody's right. That's evil. What? I'm the crazy one. I'm crazy. You wanna and you wanna look at that video, and once again, that documentary ain't perfect about abortion. It's called Unplanned. If I'm not mistaken, Unplanned is on Prime Video. So when you get the chance, please watch it. I watched it, I think it was either earlier this year or it might have been late last year. And when I talk about one of the most realistic graphic depictions of abortion, it made me so sick and depressed to watch that. And what's crazy is how so many people support that. It's mind-boggling to me. In the Bible, they say children is a blessing. When we sit up here and abort our children, that then you pretty much just spitting in God's face. He blessed you with a child. You know how many married folks can't have children because of all the GMOs and poison and stuff that they put up in the food? Who wish they had children? But then you got folks who super duper fertile and just kill their unborn without a second thought. And it is so sad. It is so sad. Why are we the second we're not even the number one minority anymore. We're the second minority. Hispanic the Hispanic Latino group has passed us up in population. And you should be able to take a guess why. Because we sit up here and abort our children at almost the same rate as a Caucasian person does. It's pathetic. It's so sad. And all I'm trying to do is just to get y'all just to wake up. You know, just consider a different perspective. The internet, when you're looking through Google, through the lens of Google and Amazon and YouTube, that is not the whole internet. And me, I'm not sitting up here condoning that you go on the dark web. I don't plan on going on dark web. My computer ain't. I don't think my computer. Just speaking from a cybersecurity perspective, my computer not good enough. I don't think prepared enough. Doesn't have the right defenses in place to protect from the dark web. But I'm pretty sure if more and more people who actually had a decent computer with the right security measures going to dark web, you find out all kind of truth that's not widely available on the internet that we currently look at. We as black people got to do better. Let me talk about Black Lives Matter for a moment. And y'all not going to like it, but it's cool. Don't get me wrong. There are some bad cops out there. And guess what? They're going to have to answer to God for what they do. But this whole deal about defunding the police is stupid and it's dangerous. As a teacher, when you are trying to manage a class, you manage a class by being consistent and letting the children know up front that if they think about not doing what they're supposed to do and misbehaving in the class, that there will be consequences. So as a result, when you let the children know about that and you implement that and whatever consequence they have for misbehaving, you implement those consequences consistently, it serves as a deterrent to bad behavior. So police presence is a deterrence to criminal activity, to criminal behavior. We are all sinners. We are sinners. We are sinners in the eyes of God. We are sinners. So if you remove the deterrent to criminal behavior, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when you defund the police? Crime is going to go up. A criminal is not going to follow the law. A criminal is going to commit crimes. And if you remove the deterrent to crime, then you are going to have more crime. Look at New York. Look at Chicago. Look at LA. And y'all wondering why. To me, if you're going to defund anything about the police, defund the unions. The unions are the ones who will cover for bad police officers and oust the good ones. Straight up. talking about Black Lives Matter again. And this is what the hypocrisy about Black Lives Matter. Now, I'm pretty sure that most black people who support Black Lives Matter, y'all supporting Black Lives Matter because of police brutality. And unfortunately, there's bad officers who brutalize everybody. We are all equal opportunity um, victims, potential victims for a bad police officer. Trust me, if they brutalizing black folks, they brutalizing white folks, they brutalizing Hispanic folks, they brutalizing Asian folks as well. However, and me, I'm not condoning anything. Compared to how, and me, I'm just speaking about black folk. Compared to how black folks kill each other, police brutality is a minute occurrence compared to how we kill our own people. But again, where's the Black Lives Matter marches in Chicago? Where's those? Where's the Black Lives Matter marches in New York and in LA? If Black lives truly matter, they would be sitting up here trying to talk to gang members. They would sit up here trying to conversate with drug dealers to try to stop them from killing each other. They would also be trying to discourage black mothers from having abortions if black lives truly matter to them. But they don't. Excuse me. Black Lives Matter ain't nothing but just another arm of the Democratic Party. That's all that they are. The Black Lives Matter organizer in Chicago talking about, oh, she can if somebody wants to rob a Gucci or a Target or something, they should be able to do so. What kind of jacked up what kind of jacked up methodology is that? Last time I checked, two wrongs don't make a right. You can't justify a wrong with doing wrong yourself. Excuse me, my throat's sitting up here getting dry talking. So Black Lives Matter should change their name to Black Lives Matter only when it's part of police brutality. That's that's what the name should be turned to, and their mantra should be uh, Black Lives Matter only when it fits a narrative. Black Lives Matter. Black lives don't matter when it comes to abortion. Black lives don't matter when it comes to uh, drug dealers and drug dealers killing each other. Black lives don't matter when black people are promoting promiscuity and abortions. Black lives don't matter for that. Black lives only matter when it comes to the few instances of police brutality. Black lives want to talk about social justice. How come they won't try to make the criminal justice system fair for everybody? You got many instances where you have a black man who does a crime and you have a white man who does a crime, and the white man serves considerably less time than a black person. I'll give you a perfect example. Lori Laughlin with the college admission scandal. If you do your reading, she's only going to spend maybe 60 to 90 days in jail. Whereas a mother in Cleveland put her put her child's father's address on an application. She spends 2 years in jail. So once again, if Black Lives Matter was a real organization and not a Marxist organization or organization that's trying to break the family down, that's what they would be working on. They would be protesting when black folks kill each other. They would be protesting when black folks are engaging in abortion. They will be protesting when a black person gets a very harsh sentence compared to a peer that's a member of another ethnicity if they was a real organization. Like I said before, we as black folks got to do better. We got to get out of this victim mentality. How can our lives truly matter when we always want to look for some handout that the government has? Now, don't get me wrong. There's been plenty examples like Black Wall Street, like that Pennsylvania fire bombing of, I think it was the Black Panthers, where we've tried to do better for ourselves and the government has pretty much killed that. But as of right now, we don't face that threat. You have plenty of black folks in existence right now that are very rich and very wealthy. So the opportunity for us to do better is there. We just got to stop killing each other. We got to stop having this crab in the bucket syndrome where we see somebody who does well and we start becoming jealous or start hating them for being well. When you think about it, and Seiko, you talked about this the other day about pride. Pride comes from two things. Either we getting something we don't want or somebody got something we do want. And we act outside of God's will to pretty much get what we want or get rid of something that we don't want. So we just got to do better. We got to do better. Excuse me. Give me some water. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I know I've been talking for a long time, but I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm gonna leave y'all with Second Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 3. Let no one in any way deceive you, for it will not come unless the apostasy, and apostasy means, unbelief, which we have a big issue with now. People don't want to believe in the truth. Even when you'll have a few folks show you the truth, you don't want to believe in it. And that's cool. That's in between you and God. Me, I have no reason to lie. I have no I have no reason to sit up here and exaggerate. I don't there's no benefit for me from doing either of those. I don't have energy to lie like some of these politicians. It takes too much energy to tell a lie and then come up with lie after lie after lie after lie after lie to cover up the original lie. I don't have the time nor the energy for that. Moving on with this verse, and I'm just going to say it once again from the beginning. Let no one in any way deceive you, for it will not come unless the apostasy comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction. We know who the man or spirit of lawlessness is. It's the devil. The devil knows his time is short. So what is he knowing? To me, the devil is the quintessential crab in the bucket. He takes down whoever he can. And it's not just adults. He's taking down our children through the music. You know how many students that I've seen either on the news from some robbery or some student who's a teen mother because of the music that they listen to? And I see this every year. The devil is not only targeting us, they're targeting our children. We need to protect our children. Y'all so focused and hating on Trump, all so focused on politics and divisiveness, when y'all don't even realize what's going on around us, the stuff that affects us personally. Yeah, I mean, like I said, y'all, we got to do better. We got to do better. This video I posted about Obama, and I said this to Jay in a comment. And once again, I don't have anything against gay folks. I mean, I pray for y'all because, once again, if we really were meant to be gay, then gay folks would be able to reproduce, but you can't reproduce. However, this agenda is breaking up our families. You can do research. When a child doesn't have both parents around, they're more likely to have academic performance issues in school. They're more likely to drop out of high school. They're more likely to commit crimes. They're more likely to be put in jail. They're more likely to have a shortened life when both parents are not around. That is facts. That's facts. And unfortunately, with that agenda, that breaks up the family. And Obama made sure that that particular agenda, that particular group of individuals had rights, but he refused to give rights for black folks. He had 8 years to where, okay, if a black person commits a crime and a person of another ethnicity commits a crime, that they both have the same sentence. He could have been did that. He did not. The only police reform he actually put while he was in office was a body camera. That's it. And we've seen time and time again that body cameras don't prevent a bad police officer from killing somebody or seriously injuring somebody. They either gonna turn the camera off, lie and say it was a malfunction. Obama had all the time in the world to sit up here and say, okay, we got folks getting killed by police officers unarmed on camera. Let's do something about it. Has he done something about it? No. All he did was sit up here and made the country more divisive and almost feed into this little quasi race war that we have way before Trump got in office. But y'all want to sit up here and trust Joe Biden, a known racist, a person who can barely get without a speech, without sitting up here saying something crazy. The dude almost 80 years old, and he was Obama's vice president. He had plenty enough time to, quote unquote, because that's what a lot of folks looking for the government to help the black community instead of empowering ourselves to do better. The dude had 50 years to do something while he was a politician, except collect a check and make backdoor deals. And once again, this dude sitting up here talking about, oh, I love children to jump on my lap, and I give my personal number out to children. What old man you know personally give his number out to children if he ain't a doggone pedophile? But that's who y'all trust. And to be honest, it don't take a doggone rocket scientist to see what's gonna happen if he gets in office. Even though I don't think that they'll get in office, short of stealing the election. But if they do get in office, you know what's gonna happen. The dude gonna be declared unfit for office, and Kamala Harris is gonna be your next president, who y'all say she's the first African American. She is not African American. She is mixed. God looks at all of us as equals, but we still sit up here and put one race or one ethnicity over the other. She is a biracial, just like Obama, a biracial candidate for vice president. So I see a couple of comments. Yep, yep, G. Craig. I remember when Ashley first showed me a few of his videos, his DVD, and I was like, "How does dude make all this money?" Because most of what he's saying comes from the Illuminati website with the truth behind hip hop. This dude pretty much plagiarizes, just like Joe Biden. So I mean, like I say, y'all, we are in a period of great deception. And you're going to have to really be observant, and you're going to have to use some uncommon methods to do your research and see the world for what it really is. To see all of these different stories and false narratives for what they are. You do. You do. So I'm just gonna close. Um, I just pray that, Lord, that we have continued that you continue to open people's eyes, that you continue to awaken people to the truth, and to just help people to take the blinders off. Because remember, we are sinners. We are imperfect people. We have a sin nature, and we're going to be held accountable for sins that we commit, known and unknown. And I'm sorry, I don't want to unknowingly support evil. I don't. I don't know about you. I don't want to support evil, especially when they got people trying to sound the horn, sound the alarm, that when it comes to not just the Democratic Party, but to other people like these celebrities and stuff who they themselves are complicit in this whole pedophilia ring, and we support them and all this stuff. I don't want to support evil. Think about Oprah's story. How you get so doggone rich just by having a TV show? You making billions of dollars off of a TV show. Jerry Springer had a TV show, a talk show for a long time. He ain't as rich as Oprah. See, when you get to be that rich that fast, there's some other sinister stuff going on. Jay-Z is another one. Do some research on Jay-Z. That do as thou wilt, um, that do as thou wilt sweatshirts that he wears from time to time. That's Aleister Crowley stuff there. That's a satanic that's the satanic worship, a satanic follower, Aleister Crowley. But nobody wants to believe any of that. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, they so good," and all this. It ain't nothing but a front. So, anyways, um, that's really all I have. Um, just be encouraged and do your research. We live in an age of technology where information is available, but you have to seek it. The Bible talks about that. Wisdom is not going to come to you. You have to seek it. Knowledge is not going to come to you. You have to seek it. And you're going to have to seek it through uncommon means. Use some other search engines other than Google. Google only going to show you what they want to show you. Just like Facebook is going to show you what they want to show you. So I'm done. Uh, See y'all later. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do my lesson plan and my assignments because I gotta prepare for school tomorrow. So see y'all later.